Hello everyone, this is Crota giving you a shoutcast between Infestor and Moo here on Steps of War. This replay is brought to you by lucomputers.com. Go ahead and check out their website. There's a link on the top right hand side for StarCraft 2 in particular if you're needing and looking for a new computer for StarCraft 2. Back to the game, we have Infestor spawning as the red Zerg player over here on the north side of Steps of War. Meanwhile, we have Moo spawning over here on the south side. I do not know if this is the famous Cow Goes Moo, but with a name like Moo, I would assume so, but that's probably pretty bad assumption, but I want it to be Cow Goes Moo, so I'm going to call him Cow Goes Moo. So this is Moo, Cow Goes Moo, and now setting down a very early 9 racks. So with an early 9 racks against Infestor, it's going to be pretty interesting. Infestor, I'm choosing the proper name as the Zerg player. So Zerg versus Terran here on Steps of War. Now out comes this SCV putting down a 10 supply depot. A pretty common strategy here on Steps of War to get your barracks before your supply depot, just because the walking distance between these two locations is very, very small. We now have a scouting drone. I can't imagine that's a hatchery drone, as that's a little bit too early for that. So an early scouting drone, gonna go ahead and see if it is gonna be an early rush strategy. That drone just floating along, heading along his way, gonna come in and see that this barracks is in fact done. I do not see, oh, there is in fact there is a refinery now coming into play, and now in comes this drone. Drone not gonna be blocking that tech lab or the reactor that's coming in, and now with this Infestor just running around, may be able to get in and try to sneak in some damage or sneak in some kills. No, just wants some minerals of his own and gonna go ahead and return home with a present. Out comes a Marine. Marine gonna try to do that little move and attack in order to stop it, and oh, very nicely done. Infestor now coming in with that whole entire strategy where he's gonna become an assimilator. As he grows up, he's going to get up to exactly 30 and then cancel, and then start the process all over again. So Infestor going to go just block all that gas there. You can see that there, cancels it, doesn't go, is going to be coming in. Yeah, there he goes again, all growing up as the Marine trying to shoot down that extractor. Extractor still coming in as more and more Marines coming over to join in on this devastating fun. This extractor should most likely get taken down when that drone tries to cancel one final time, as there are 2 Marines, so they should be able to shoot it down. Drone, yes, there we go. Finally taken down, unable to return with his present. Factory now being laid down by Moo, so Moo getting that factory and also getting a reactor as well. So this may open up into Hellion play. Back over here, SCV running around, Zerglings chasing down this SCV. SCV barely able to escape. Will he be able to come back home and join up with all of his Marine buddies? Grab a drink afterwards. Not quite sure, as those Zerglings trying to get in some extra hits. That SCV almost able to make it back up. He's going to make it up to the ramp, and then those Zerglings do not want to head up that ramp. Don't want to really press it there. Down goes one Zergling, and that SCV just sitting there going, "You can't catch me." Alright, I'm in a little bit of a playful mood. So now Factory going to go ahead and lift off, waiting for that barracks to finish. That reactor going to go ahead and drop down and now double produce Hellions. So Hellions are going to be very, very strong against those Zerglings. Infestor now sitting with the hatchery over here. That hatchery nearly completed, as we are now getting a Roach Warren. So Infestor quickly seeing the tech, seeing the reactor, realizing that it's most likely going to be Hellions, and gonna decides to start producing roaches. Now Moo should have a large influx of gas at this stage in the game, so should probably start putting down a tech lab. And then, if he, that's the only reason why I would see that he's trying to really go for Banshees. Hellions should be able to clean up the rest of these Zerglings. Yeah, there we go, cleaning up the rest of those Zerglings, and now should probably move out to try to do some harassment. No, however, roaches now being produced. We should have a fair number of roaches being trained up now. Yeah, now 4 roaches being trained up, and now with no tech lab, it's really going to delay those Banshees unless Moo not really going for those Banshees. Hellion's going to come in and going to see some roaches in just a moment. Drones coming off the mineral line, and now drones getting transferred down, trying to get as much splash damage onto those drones, not really aiming all those there, trying to do a move and attack, and then able to get perhaps 1 or 2 drones, getting a couple kills in. Now 4 is Hellions coming in, and this is really bad. Infestor just wasn't really microwing those drones at all, and losing a lot of units there, and now going for the reactor onto the starport. So going to start producing double Vikings, it looks like, as he doesn't have enough infantry to really warrant double medevacs. So those Vikings may go overlord hunting, and without any Hydras or any tech to tier 2, he's going to have a hard time really dealing with that. Yeah, double Vikings now being produced with a bunker sitting over here. I do not see a baneling's nest either, so it does Infestor in a really dangerous situation. Roaches and those Hellions may be able to get some kiting action, as those Hellions have a range of 6. But no, those roaches are not coming in, not trying to get any of that splash damage in, or trying to get any of that armored damage. Those roaches are in fact armored, so able to deal a fair amount of damage, or take a lot of damage from those Hellions. Hellions only dealing 8 damage against those roaches. Those roaches also have 145 hit points, so very hard to deal a significant amount of damage towards those roaches. However, those Hellions able to do a quick drive-by, and now going to go ahead and run up and get some toasting in on these drones. Drones getting ready to pull away, and now in comes one dead drone, another dead drone probably in the mix. Yeah, 2 more dead drones there, and Infestor just taking a lot of damage really needlessly. May lose another Hellion there. Down goes another Hellion, and finally the threat is gone. But now with 4 Vikings in the air, or 4 Vikings soon to be in the air, we should see those Vikings start doing some Overlord hunting. And wow, just constant aggression coming in from these Vikings and from these units. We have Hellions now, Zerglings now trying to do a little bit of a push, and we also have these roaches that are trying to push on in as well. We should be seeing a Thor now. So we have a Marauder and Siege Tanks. We have Marauders and Marines in that bunker, and trying to fight back against this one reactor. We are trying to take down this reactor. Hellions jumping down into that ground mode, and then now jumping back up. So those Hellions will be able to protect that reactor. And now those Vikings once again moving out, and the store will be popping out in just a moment. And those roaches really will not be able to do anything. Those Vikings now on the lookout for some Overlords. Those Vikings dealing 28 damage per round of attack. So, and 2 rounds of attack from these 4 Vikings will be able to shoot down 1 Overlord fairly easily. So 1 Overlord, down it goes. Pop, another Overlord should get taken down fairly easily. However, Infestor does have 3 Queens, so those Queens should be able to do a little bit of protecting here. Queens now chasing after those Vikings. 1 Viking gonna get taken down to 8 already. There it goes. The 3 Vikings still sticking pretty close together as Infestor's moving these Overlords as close as close to these Queens as possible. Let me slow down just a little. Those Vikings still moving out, and now we have a Thor out, Armory in play. Moo now gonna go ahead and set up a natural expansion over here. Most likely going to be transferring some harvesters. Moo sitting on 33 harvesters compared to Infestor's 33 as well. Marauders now moving out. That Thor should be able to take that low ground fairly easily, as another tech lab now coming in. Vikings not able to get that many kills, only 1 Overlord kill, so not able to get the aggression that he really needs, as another bunker is coming into play. Vikings going back into that ground mode in order to offer additional ground support just in case there is any roaches. Siege Tanks now in position, a quick Zergling, and gets taken down by those Vikings and these Marines as Moo now moves out. Excuse me. Now Thor is moving out with these Vikings, Siege Tanks, and Marines. Pretty interesting game so far. Will these Marines and Vikings be able to push on in, and how is Infestor going to counteract this? Infestor has a very small army compared to the army of Moo. Siege Tanks now coming in, but the Zerglings already have that 0 damage, and those roaches are going to be able to just come in, and Zerglings are now going to swarm on in, and very nicely done by Infestor. Infestor just simply destroying that very large army with the proper counter units. Will Moo be able to come back in? Zerglings now being able to quickly surround and take down the Siege Tank as well. Vikings also most likely going to take him down, now quickly jumping back into the air. Zerglings just running around and being able to destroy that bunker fairly easily. Stay tuned for part 2 of this replay between Infestor and Moo here on Steps of War.